Hello, hello. Let's see what's everybody up to today. It looks like I have at least half fixed the issues we were having yesterday with the mini feed. Um, I don't know if Stream Elements is fully working yet, but we'll see. I got a sound effect for a follow, which thank you, Coda. Nice to see you. Um, I did not get a sound effect for Reese, or this looks like a new sub. Oh, it's Eleanor. Hey, man. So I am trying to figure out what is working and what is not and how to fix it. But we'll see. One day at a time, one issue at a time. So last night we did the MSQ. VOD is up on Twitch, should be up on YouTube soon. If you missed it at the time, tonight we're doing the 24-man raid, the conclusion of Myths of the Realm. Be warned that this is going to include some pretty huge Endwalker spoilers if you have not beaten that yet. So let's see, where are we picking up today? Where are we story-wise? Endwalker complete, save the world, go team, set off for a new adventure, something easy, grounded, back to our adventuring roots, you know, no interdimensional travel or super special characters or secret history or anything, just a nice classic archaeo-mythological investigation into some old ruins. So anyway, you end up in the Phantom Realm that floats high above Silver Tear Lake, said to be a place of worship for the 12, and you think you're going to be investigating this with the guy who brought you here, Derek, who looks suspiciously like Ocean, and his pet Opo Opo, who also looks suspiciously like Ocean, but in a different way. But you don't actually... Oh, hydrate. You don't actually get to do much raw investigation at all before you bump into the 12, the actual 12. So I'm starting to think that maybe this whole back to our simple adventuring roots talk was a little premature. But let's see, where did the story go from there? The 12 act like they want to take over Eorzea now that Heidelin's dead. Except, no, that's not quite right. They just want to test us for something. But they still only started kind of engaging this after Heidelin died. So, combined with the fact that they seem to be her friends, this test of our mettle seems to be a are we ready of some kind? Are we ready to live in a world that relates to the gods in a different way? And given the way that the game has been wrapping everything ancient up, your first thought is like, what if the 12 are going away, right? Which, can they go totally away? Because we're still picking a patron in the character creator. Are they gonna be, is SE really gonna be like, hey, we're gonna get you attached to this mythology and you're gonna pick a guardian and then you're not gonna hear about him for 10 years and then you're gonna kill him and then they're gone. I don't know if they're gonna go fully away. I expect them to go at least partly away. But we're gonna have to figure out how we get there and what that means. Doesn't seem like there are too many twists and turns in this one. It was more trying to figure out what the 12 were. My theories for that have been pretty varied over time. I was supportive of pretty much any theory aside from they are the Asians, somehow. And it looks like I may be getting that. I don't want to jinx it. I feel confident saying it's not that, but I don't want to jinx it and get curveballed at the last minute. So we're gonna wait to get too proud of ourselves here. My theories over time went from so misremembered warriors of light. These were just legends, and that was because we had just gone through the Archons thing. where we had learned that many of the archons in the past were just people, and that we had just seen the archons of our time, supposedly the angels of the 12 showing up to warn people of coming calamity, ended up just being a bunch of random scholars from Charleon. So first theory was misremembered warriors of light. Then in 2.5, we learned that Midgardsormr had a deal with Hydaelyn. And that kind of threw a wrench in some of what I was thinking. Because Midgardsormr was supposedly created by the 12, Althik and Nemea. And he was supposed to like guard the source of all water and magic and life at Silvertear Lake. So that got me thinking then maybe the 12 are emanations of Hydaelyn somehow. They're like personas of Hydaelyn somehow. And I stuck to that for a good long time before abandoning it during Endwalker or Shadowbringers, I don't remember which, when I couldn't fit a Zem into the mix no matter what I did. So I think I'm coming back to that theory now, because they could just be Hydaelyn's summoners, was the thought we came up with during Shadowbringers. So that would give it a nice 13 on 13, no Zem needed, Elidibus versus Vana. Really kind of wrap things up all tidy, much like our Void retcons that we were talking about last night. Much like the 1st and the 13th are now parallels to one another. We could have the Convocation and the Shadow Convocation as parallels to one another, and we're good to go, right? Maybe? Kinda? And it does look like there were a couple of clues along the way. There's one where one interaction that the 12 have like perfectly mirrors word for word verbatim an interaction that happened when we were in Elpis, which goes to suggest that these really are just Vana's friends from another time. So yeah, it looks like I don't make many predictions. I really don't. I don't like making predictions because I like looking at evidence and playing with the puzzle more than I like being right. But the 4 things I ever actually predicted and actually was willing to stake my reputation on, we did it. We went 4 out of 4. Gaius lives, Elidibus is a snake, Crystal Mom loves you, and somehow the 12 are real. So that's it. I'm retiring forever from prediction making. From here on out, we're just enjoying the ride. And thanks for the sub, Eve. So, I think we might be ready to check in, see where we left off. Are you alone, possibly, Ocean? Where is other possibly? Oh, there we go. Other. Okay, so this is Ocean Suspect 1. This is Derek. And he looks a lot like the Triad card. Kinda. Which counts for nothing, because I've seen the concept CGs for this patch, and they put Thalyak in pants. So obviously we can't trust the cards too much, and I'm a little confused because I thought this game was like equal opportunity objectification, and they went all in on Nafika's big naturals, and now we're being robbed of Thalyak's thumping thighs, and I'm upset, kinda. So anyway, this is Ocean Suspect 2, Derek's Oppo Oppo. So up in the sky, we see that each of the 12 uses a minion as their avatar, kind of. My theory was whenever people are divided like this, it's always both. So my shitpost theory is that he is somehow the god and he is also somehow the god, and that they don't really work in the way we would expect. Okay, let's go. Heading back to Umphalos. If Varshan can be Breacher's Eye, I don't see why the Oppo Oppo can't be Derek's left foot. The one thing we did learn, like, pretty conclusively is that the totally lost my train of thought here. The 12 are really influenced by what people think they are. So they are whatever we think they are. And that really accounts for a lot. Like, if you combine the idea that this phantom realm is sometimes accidentally visible with the idea that they kind of just are whatever we think they are, look like whatever we think they look like, that pretty much explains all the weird mythology over time. Now, if I remember right, I could interact with this before, couldn't I? Wasn't this full of hints? Oh, Kral just read it to us. Okay. They should let you freely read it. Though I guess rewatching the cutscene is actually easier than coming up here to read it. You can do that at your FC house. That's right. We left off with the mystery of, like, are they going to somehow get the Watcher involved? Because the Watcher was one of Anod's friends as well, and there was a mysterious 13th mentioned. Oh, wait a minute, Rabbit Familiar was redeemed. We have to get the bun back. Where do we put the bun? This chair does not have a place for the bun. I feel like I need to build a shelf for our various mascots here. Each of the gods would like to speak with us in private? Sure. Why? And where are you going? Off to your private chambers, ocean and/or other ocean? Is this where you're gonna tell me who you are? Advance the quest at any time by speaking with Derek. Well, that's suspicious. The only other thing I'm kind of hoping they tie in is the Mughals somehow. Or the Elementals somehow. The Mughal mythology states that they served the 12 in the heavens before war broke out among them over a spilled goblet of wine. And the history that we get from the Mughals in Heavensward seems to suggest that they have a memory of the first Umbral era. And SE just left it open. They really want us confused about whether the Mughals have this like accurate cultural memory of something that could give us a hint about how it connects to all this, or whether the Mughals are full of shit because the Mughals are usually full of shit. And part of me loves that that's ambiguous, but I feel like they should just get a like some kind of nod, right? All right, heaven of lightning. One thing I do like about this whole thing is that it nicely ties up why Ramu looks so much like Rhalgr, but Rhalgr doesn't look like other Rhalgr. Like there are several different statues of Rhalgr in the game that look nothing alike, and yet Ramu of all things looks exactly like Rhalgr in the Charlayan tradition. I'll just go in order. Whoa, they're still big. Oh, he checks if I'm a crafter. Why does that feel like a goodbye? That definitely feels like a goodbye. Also that pose. Why he flexing? Alright. Number 2. Oh, just a sec. Yeah, and then as not to give too many Ramu throwbacks, this one looks more like the Alamegan tradition. That's neat. They each kind of check if you did any of the content that's associated with them. Oh! Just out of time. Can you send that party invite again? Sorry. Why is it still... Oh, they're all just gonna keep it. Okay. Alright, so there's a hint. There's a hint. We got the little shiny, but everybody's still hanging out here. See, they can be both. I love that Naldal is a mummy. God of life and death, living dead. At least I assume that's what's going on there. Hey, Sophia. Aw. Thank you, Azima. That cleared up nothing. So, Azima recognizes us kind of somehow. my patron is Naldal. So admittedly, embarrassingly, there is no deeper lore-related reason why I am Naldal. When I started the game, I chose everything about my characters based on my relationship with 11 at the time. I made two characters. One, so in 11, I was an Elvon and a tank. I was a paladin. And I decided I was going to be the same thing here. I was going to carry on the tradition. Elvon, tank. We'll start over. We'll just start back at 0. And I did not have fun at all at first with that. You had to raise your shield manually, and there was excessive lag, and it was really miserable. And also the animations were a bit weird on my Elizin, and the way the lightning hit him. Like, his eyes always looked sunken in and bruised. He always looked a little like strung out and running like a turkey, and I wasn't vibing. So I decided I'm gonna go completely the opposite direction. I am gonna be a purple-haired toddler mage. From the tallest to the shortest, from the strongest to the magiest, from the most like me to the least like me. And when it came time to pick a patron deity, I didn't really know a lot about them yet. I didn't take them very seriously yet. So I just kind of looked at what they were all gods of. And it said Naldal was money. And when I was an 11, I was constantly broke. I came into the game kind of late. And the economy had plateaued. And once we got to that point, I was always struggling for like the basic necessities of my new gear set. So I just decided, yeah, I'm gonna go with the god of money, and maybe I won't always be broke. Do I not get to go into the water one? Hold on. What's going on here? Do the ones I haven't fought yet not want to talk to me? But yeah, I contemplated changing my god. I was gonna go to Rhalgr, because I always wanted to be a black mage, and it didn't work out. The group I was running with never had a healer, so I just ended up a healer. Being Scholar in 2.0 was my little rebellion. So I thought I was gonna like give a little homage to my attempted black mage roots and have Rhalgr as my patron. But at the end of 1.0, they give you a ring with your god's logo on it. I already had the Naldal ring, and I was never gonna get the Rhalgr ring. And then my 1.0 adventurer certificate says Naldal, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't change it. And looking back, I'm glad. I'm glad I stuck with it. Wait, you're even hanging out here? This is interesting. Okay. Hey, the elementals. They may seem They may seem excessive in their actions, but out of an abundance of love. Has the person Has the person who wrote that played 1.0, where they would Thanos snap you out of existence for not being respectful enough of the wood? My my theory was that they were just either experiencing it self-subjectively, so they didn't really have a lot of control over themselves, because ether rarely, it's mercurial. Man, I'm gonna have to remember that. Every time we watch an old scene with the elementals being crazy, we're just gonna be like, it's an abundance of love. In all seriousness, the original Gridania was based in 1.0 on pre-Buddhism Japan, on kind of the ancient animism and ancestor worship angle. And so the elementals were kind of the original kami. And if you think about the kami, and at least the spirits of nature in the Japanese worldview, they are very prone to go in one way and then go in the other, like being benevolent and then not so much. And that ties into the Mitama thing that we learned about when we actually went over to the Hingashi. So I think, like, now that the elementals aren't so associated with Shinto, it's kind of hard to see it. And now we have, like, actual Shinto over in Hingashi, so it's, like, even harder to see. Yeah, I don't think they ever say that Kami Wrath is an expression of love. I don't think that that's ever come up, no. But there is so in the English they call it Wood Sin and Green Wrath, but it's tied into, and in the Japanese client even uses some of the same terminology. So sin, or tsumi, is something like, it doesn't matter if it was intentional. Pollution is just kind of pollution. So you can, when it comes to what they call, like, sin and defilement, and I think the words for that were tsumi and kigare? I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. That it was the community's responsibility to stay purified of this kind of thing, and there wasn't a lot of blame on it. Like, you could be in an earthquake and be impure and have to purify that, and it was just like the presence of impurity is what drives things into that more wild state. But it's very, I think that was what the elementals were supposed to be, was if anything was in an imbalanced state, they weren't making, like, fully deliberate decisions. It affected them on a spiritual level. But I don't think it was ever blamed on an expression of love. So we're going to have to rethink how we relate to that concept a bit. Maybe not so 1-1. I really like her design. She came out really well. They all did, really, but the red eyes and the hair and the face suit her well. I like how he has the nail in his back. That wasn't that like an optional add-on for the ones that, you know, we're not gonna think about it. We're not gonna think too hard about it. It's a minion, we're not gonna think too hard about it. I think in early 2.0 and maybe late 1.0, I forget, the nail in the back signified it as a certain type of golem. Nui. How bold you are to summon me. What? You requested to speak with me. I thought. Did Derek lie to me? I want you to know everything they said about me in 3.0 was a lie. Good use of your time, Hello. She called her hound Dalamud. I love it. If you have never heard me talk about it before, the word Dalamud is a corruption of the word Bahamut. So it's really funny that we gifted her a dog named Dalamud. Is that everybody? I don't get to talk to the last ones. I guess we'll meet the others on the other side. Of the places you've seen, what kind do you like best? My island sanctuary. There are no people. Doesn't seem like they're paying attention to this one to inform things. It's like solitude. As an adventurer who's been through a lot of trauma, I like solitude. Prone to wandering, are you? You don't say. You don't say. He claims he found the Opo Opo. Was the Opo Opo also wandering? They're saying the gods have been diluting their essence, expending all this ether fighting. We should avoid engaging in further battle until we understand. Seek out the 13th unnamed being who is to watch unflinchingly. Oh, good. Not a puzzle at all. They already figured it out. So wait a minute, we had to prove... We had to prove to the people of the first that we could use the Crystal Tower again, but we're not going to have to prove to the people of Garlemald that we can use the Tower of Babel again. Maybe there's like a side errand quota and cap. Yeah, true. Maybe if we're just like going inside and teleporting, it's subtle enough. Yeah, if there's a Garlean restoration of any kind, I really hope they change the environmental model for Howl's Murder Castle there. Still looks like a death metal album cover. A big smile. Hmm. I forgot when I was listing the theories for who I thought the 12 might be, there was one more in the middle early on, which was that they were Heidelin's first attempt at gods to lead people right after the Sundering, and that something had gone wrong with it, and that's why they were forced to retreat into the heavens. So we've got confirmation that they are creations of a kind, and they are based on her friends to a degree. It's a little bit of two of the theories, not quite 100% of either. But it still fits with the shadow convocation theory, which I like a lot. I love it that you just like take someone to the moon to meet an ancient, and they walk in like, and then leave like. Alright. Back to Omphalos. Where I can't use the giant crystal in the middle of town as a etherite, sadly. Are there Elpis side quests I haven't completed? There might be. If they, no, there shouldn't be. I don't remember. I'll check afterwards. If you have a good memory of the differences, did I get the side quests done or side quests not done? I think it's Ultima Thule that I have a few unfinished ones sitting around in. Yes, Gold, I do remember that one. I think of all of the ways that the protagonist can secretly be responsible for their own troubles through some past time travel trope. That we accidentally created the behemoth is a really funny one. Whoa, hey. Good design. Leave off, Tholiac. Man, Limlayan looks fantastic. They did so well by me as a Lominson Nald Thal. From that angle, her dress, hold on, I want to see if I'm imagining it. Show me, go back, show me Limlayan. Hold on, let me turn off auto text for a minute. Put the camera back where it was a second ago. Can't see it very well here. We? God, I love the writing team. I'm sorry, I gotta go with what Moose would say. I always pick the unpopular answer. Though often one the chat hasn't seen. Here might be one. Ah, we're already moved past it. Damn it. Give me that camera angle again. I missed my opportunity. I'm gonna have to rewatch this cutscene with the improved graphics, see if he has like a slightly less pixely belly button. Is that a summoner horn? This angle might do. I feel like with Lim Lane, or not Lim Lane. Yeah, Lim Lane. Oh, I thought my brain was glitching again. If you do not watch often, my brain likes to glitch and make me say the wrong nouns. I feel like hidden in Lim Lane's design is a reference to the fishtail. Like the top kind of looks like scaled, shelled at the same time. Kind of looks like it's creating a flowing motif down here that from certain angles looks like almost mermaid inspired. So I think her dress is meant to represent that. But I think even in the game, it was confirmed that the statues are more of a symbol than how they think she really looks. So wait, we got our two wind gods. Oh, okay. Your loins. Not gonna lie, that line would be a little different if he didn't have pants. So maybe right now the pants are okay. Maybe like those pants that have the buttons down the side and you can just like. I hope he does that in the middle of the fight. Oh, no. Hmm. Attempted deicide it is. Let's go. Assuming I'm recalling it correctly, I remember interview in Japan where Yoshi said that they didn't have any real lore on the 12 in the game, so they figured they could do whatever they wanted with it, and they just kind of aimed to wander with this, and then they realized, oh right, we've been thinking about them all along. So they like kind of reinvested in making it feel grander and more familiar to the stuff we would know. And it seems like they did put a lot of TLC into researching everything they ever said about the gods and trying to make a reference to them in some way. Except the Mughals. We're left with that mystery. Okay, we are ready to go. And thank you for joining, friends. And thank you for making the party. It's not a mystery the Mughals are liars. Mughals just have a very warped and self-interested cultural memory, but I thought there'd be a little nod. I think getting up into the sky and seeing that there were Mughals there and that the chieftain looked like Magamog was as good of a nod as we're gonna get. I think that's where that goes. Thanks for the follow, Admiral. Oh, Obo was feeling a little better. That's good. Slightly. You'll only have 3 people to fight inside. Probably. No, that's not going to be the case at all. Maybe the 4th boss will just be a Moogle, and then I'll get all my wishes. The Moogles are the servants of the gods, so you gotta beat them at some point, right? Well, this is weird. Oh, there we go. The 4th boss will be the secret of Silver Tear Lake. Hey, the presence of Silver Tear Lake is like the last thing on my to-do list. I was hoping it was going to be in like an ARR2 expansion, but that was a cool effect. I like that. The particle effects are on point this patch. Also, LOL, the Charlayan poster. I'm a huge fan of the infinitely pouring beer mug illusion. When it comes to Hydaelyn and Zodiark and the word God, I think half of the time it's just like they were created to be gods, like lowercase g God. And I think in the case of Zodiark, one true god is the result of the tempering. I think the Ascians simultaneously knew that they had summoned him and that he had tempered them as a result. Come, accidentally.
Mortals. Make your way through our watery sanctum.
I think they understood on some level that they had been inadvertently tempered, because Emmett Selk talks to us about it.
Let us see how you fare against my servants.
But at the same time, Emmett's attitude had the tone was kind of like, well, if you gotta be tempered, it might as well be by the one true god, am I right? So I think like the Ascians did have a sense of the word god as more than just a shorthand label for what they created. I think it was an effect of the tempering, especially because every single Ascian you meet, the first thing they say about themselves is, I am blah blah, servant of Zodiark, almighty Zodiark, the one true god. I think Hydaelyn avoided it by her summoners all dying as part of the summoning. So we all just... Whoa. 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 That was more intense than expected. And in a funny way, it kind of like fits with the 1.0 lore where Hydaelyn didn't exist. Yeah, nobody worships Hydaelyn because she wasn't part of the lore at the time. 1.0 players were kind of weirded out.
Only to be expected for they who vanquished my pupil Byragot.
Byragot? Oh, that's not how I've been pronouncing that. It shall be my pleasure
to welcome you personally.
That is not how I thought that would be pronounced. Oh, he still got his pants.
I have looked forward to this moment, children of man. The scholar shall measure your depth of knowledge.
suppose I should pay attention to this instead of talking to it. So we will come back to the creation of Heidelin thing in a minute. This is some jaunty
The
music.
rivers rage at my behest. Not all knowledge is wisdom. At what answer will you arrive, I wonder? Of ignorance be cleansed! Join me in deepest knowledge. Let flow the waters of your mind.
Ow, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math.
Seek new perspectives, and you shall find new paths.
This is a cool way to introduce. Uh-oh, wait, This is a cool way to introduce kind of lore into fight mechanics.
Small wonder the others have exalted so.
If I beat Thaliak in a fight, does that make me an honorary Archon in Charleon?
O waters purifying, reveal their nature. Tis time for a test.
I'd love to see the Warrior
Share
Light like
with
drop
me
that one
your
at a
ruminations.
Charleon Thanksgiving table. Just end a fight with, oh yeah, well I beat Thaliak in a street fight, so. Ow.
Not all answers can be obtained through might.
How far does he rotate it? One time? Would that one over there have been equally fine? Let's see. Yes, easy peasy rotation. Okay. Oop.
Prove to me the wisdom of man. Let us enlighten. Well done, wise children. Well done.
Okay.
Smooth sailing so far, I see. Come then, mortals. Have you got the stones to face the navigator? Come on, don't keep me waiting.
I guess I'll just
Let me prepare a suitable stage
use
for
the
our
serpent.
union.
There we go. Easy decisions. That's cool. Oh, this is really cool.
I'll teach you the ways of
Yeah, the
navigation.
wind is holding up the water. Totally makes sense.
Mine are the waves and the winds.
Windrose, that's cool. If I remember right, that's another name for the map compass.
Can you contend with she who rules the tides?
Oh, oh.
My trident parts the very sea.
Oh, that's cool. The arena changes shape based on the wind attack.
You must make an ally of the wind. Rise above the white caps.
Wait a minute. I think I see Casca. He's not in our party, is he? Ow, ow, I'm looking at Casca instead of the fight.
You don't disappoint.
Wait, where's my fairy? Did I just go the whole... Uh-oh. Noob didn't summon his fairy. Don't.
Like the stormy seas, I'm a harsh mistress.
We're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Brace for the storm!
I don't even think I died. That was just full-on noobery.
I trust you don't mind if they play too. Come, Pericos, Thalios.
It is Pericos! Thank you for remembering bulk
Join
serpents
us in the
developers.
excitement.
That's like a deep cut of old lore.
Dance upon the waves.
Wait, you weren't shitposting? The knockback really does kill the fairy? Oh, good. I'll have to watch the VOD to see if I lost my fairy or if I am a total
That's
noob.
the way, my clever serpents. Feel the might of the navigator! Go on, my pets. Don't be shy. Boundless as the ocean. Swim free, my pet!
It is Casca. There's his corpse. That is a member of my free company. Like one of our
Surely do
oldest.
better than that. To seek new horizons, you must come together as one. It falls to you and yours to navigate the seas ahead.
After all this time, it feels strange calling to you thus.
Is that Joe?
Thank you for making it this far.
That's totally Joe.
Not long now, till our journey together must end. I am the last of us to face you.
Uh-oh. Multiple unknowns coming, including an unknown god.
Strong are they who roam.
There's no way the Black Warden shit posters were correct. Is it?
Stand firm amidst the storm.
So the Black Warden has like one or two mentions in the game ever. It's the Guardian of the Gate of the Seven Hells.
You must persevere. Wind, guide my arrow! My bowstring sings. You can overcome this. I know you can. Arise! By fighting you, that strength shall be returned to the star.
Aha! There you go.
Come! Grant us our heart's desire!
They wish to return their strength to the stars.
Stay not your steps!
I'm not quite sure what that means just yet. I think the theory we came up with last time was that they would somehow not be totally dead, but at least return to the land.
Those who hesitate are lost.
Perhaps in the places that their stones are. Since Louisoix made those canonically places where their energy is stronger. Baliak should have done a table fight like this so we could at least pretend.
The Wanderer's arrow.
I'm glad that it was you who came to us.
Here our journey ends. Blessings be upon you on the road ahead. May the wind ever be at your back.
The sweet sorrow of parting. I beg you, stay the course to the end.
Exit to the Imphalos. Well, that's cool. They actually, like, worked. That's... Huh.
You're back. The Omphilus. It's suddenly transformed. Servants? What's the meaning of this? Those ones, I leave to you.
I have questions.
It seems we're being summoned. Go, my friend. I will stay here with the others.
The will of the star has entrusted the future to you and yours. As entities charged with ensuring life on Aetheris, we rejoice in this outcome with all our hearts. Tis time, beloved children.
Sorry, I muted to cough and didn't
farewell to
unmute it.
relics of the past.
What the hell is that? Y'all thought we were gonna get like a combined Hydaelyn Zodiarch boss. We got a combined all of the 12 boss. This is the most Final Fantasy Fusion boss to have ever Final Fantasy Fusion bossed. This is some Final Fantasy 13 level shit.
Children, fulfill our final wish. See every last one of us returns to the star. By the power vested in us.
Oh god. It's all of their mechanics. I don't remember all of your mechanics.
Fight with all your being.
Eden's Promise cosplaying the 12.
Receive our love and transcend it. Blessings be upon the Aetheris. 'Twas your faith that gave rise to this radiance.
The Whirl! That's a good name for an attack. In the lore book, there is a founding mythology of where all the 12 came from before there were gods, and they just came from the Whirl.
Mercy be upon our beloved children. my strength.
Oh, it's going this way. It's going this way.
In unity lies resilience. Not a single mote of strength shall we hold back. The only way is forward. Overcome our final test. Ever has mankind hoped and prayed. And those hopes and prayers have given us fall. Unto the star we surrender our all. You have truly come far. Twas your faith that gave rise to this radiance. Shine like the stars on high.
I have never seen a boss simultaneously so intense and yet not all that intense. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a terribly huge threat to players. But holy busy arena.
Thank you.
No wonder we're going to a new continent. We have utterly run out of shit to kill. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Failed, failed, maybe, failed. Failed, failed, maybe. Bending, pass, striking, pass, aiming, pass, maiming, pass. Sure. So all that's left is the presence of Silver Tear Lake. Someday, I hope, maybe. The Black Warden would be fun, but I don't think they remember that they said it. And I don't think we have any Seven Hells stuff left. Especially because, like, some of the hints that we had were kind of Void related, but kind of not. And the Void got completely reinterpreted through the Shadowbringers era. It is. It's just randomly Casca Couch showed up. Thanks for joining everyone in the party and also Casca Couch. Honestly, at this point, like given 16 and the years involved, I think a lot of people who are involved in that old school stuff have moved on anyway. So it's, if the people who are running things now want to bring their own ideas and start something fresh, that's okay. Like we've closed up most of the old wounds. I do think it would be really cool if one day we came back for like the last of the 1.0 plot threads and did the presence of Silver Tear Lake or something. Maybe they can tie it to that weird groundwork they were laying with Ultima and Athena having way more history than we think. As I was saying recently, I find it really interesting that Ultima and the Presence were the only two things in Final Fantasy XIV history that have been described more as forces than presence, or more as forces than entities. I bet they could do something with that. Is the timer on the cards glitched too? I don't read the patch notes. I like to come in blind. This was the presence of Silver Tear Lake all along. all of the 12 at once. That being, I presume, is the 12? Yeah, it's somehow. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And thanks, Pash, for forming. We will reveal the truth in its entirety. Okay, okay. Be not afraid. To give ourselves unto the star as a blessing. I'm counting that as close enough to where we thought this was going. Return to the land. Dead but not fully dead. The fragments of our former souls, which serve as the core of our existence. Oh, so they are primalish. And also recreations through Vana-ish. Our stabilizing influence shall endure. Yeah, we were close enough. The only thing to change is where your prayers find their way. Is that what this gyroscope is? This set of gimbals? Oh wow, just like every other ancient in this storyline, this set as well is going to remind us that they are from the set who thought the world should be entrusted to new life, but also the very idea that life lives on is worth having taken a path that was devastating, but better than oblivion. Oh no, not answers. Oh, right in the feels. I think like the heavy sentimentality of that end section made this feel a lot more relevant and complete than if it had been not there. Like it would have felt like we just kind of popped in, killed the 12, popped out. I'm glad they drew that out and made it as sentimental as possible, especially adding answers right in the feels. So one of y'all wrote down everything the 12 said so we can have that for like a history book, right? Probably you, Charlene. You can bring back the only proven true example of the 12's guidance that we have. Maybe share that with others, maybe. We have little plaques with their quotes drilled into their stones out there. Someone who's supposed to be dead but returns in another form. It's good to be back, Grahatia. Big same, says Grahatia. So obviously during Endwalker 2, this is the anchor for this storyline. If you've done this storyline, Derek shows up. The forum will be expecting a report. Yeah, for sure they will. So we're going to tell everything to the forum, and then the forum is going to decide what is safe to disclose. Classic Charleon. I'm surprised that in like all of the good guys are actually bad that you see out in the wilds of Twitter. We don't have a lot of like you would think coming from the parts of the fan base that see like the Garleans are good actually, you would see more like if knowledge is power, Charlean is tyranny. We're in the lake. Pour everybody's essences in the lake. It's the center of the world's ethereal network, and then it distributes around the whole world. And then during Endwalker 2, you can pop in and summon like a little shade of all of them back for like a quick sentimental final attack, you know? We'll use the Azem stone to get the ghosts in on it. We'll get like a Eidolon shade with a shield of light and like a Themis shade with like a hammer of darkness. We'll get everybody in on it. It'll be like the most Final Fantasy ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Like as long as the Warrior of Light doesn't become a god and gets to just like retire before the credits roll. Like I just want to go back to Lims of Laminsa and be a fisherman again. I didn't want to read it during the sad, sentimental cutscene, but the final words being "keep on smashing." I got a laugh out of me, but I didn't want to show it during the scene. Interrupting this wholesome sentimentality to let you know that after 24 hours of casting with Sarah, a curse has been unleashed on your Steam account. Oh no. Sarah being involved scares me. We will work out the details of what is expected of how this manifests at the end. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait, hold on. The words of the monument, okay. Yeah. We should add more words. They all said this like really nice goodbye. We should remember those specifically. Alright, let's go. Where are we going? To the Bramble Patch? Sure. Why not? Sanctum of the 12 seems like a nice place as any. At least then, you know, they won't be in the way of the presence of Silver Tear Lake when we get there. Is this the wrong quest? Hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Embraced by gods. Okay, we're in the right place. That's just a minion poo-poo. Like, dude, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of my Agents Unknown, and I thought I might have accidentally stumbled into a Hildebrand quest because poo-poo was here. Something couldn't be right. Who would win in a fight? The presence of Silver Tear Lake, or the mysterious primal that the Garleans encountered entering Aldenard? Yeah. Yeah. Really wonder what happened to that one. That was intended all along and would be revealed soon. Dun dun dun. Considering the presence of Silver Tear Lake was supposed to be the final boss, and we had like that primal explosion come out of there, and that thing was a primal. I don't know, man. Odin was one of the contenders, but it was never confirmed. There were a few contenders. We asked about it in an interview after Odin came out, and we were told like, yeah, it hasn't been revealed yet, but it's been intended all along. So we all just kind of sat back and waited, and I guess plans changed. As they often do. Remember, the Heart of Sabik was supposed to come back in 3.0, and we only got that like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Derek, tell me more. Like, the difference between 2 weeks and 4 months in my world right now, very small. Can't believe I've been playing this game for almost 4 years. Time flies. Neat. Oh, we're getting their backstory of not the gods, but the actual people. So Byragot. This is gonna take me a while to get used to Byragot. Byragot was a supervisor at the Bureau of the Architect. Rogger was a random guy that Banam met on her travels. Joined her on a quest to destroy an enormous meteor. So Shatoto was a religious figure, in a way, apparently. Oh, good. This is what we've been asking for the whole time, because they kind of laid down some possibility that Azem, Azima, and Azim had some kind of shared seed of faith. And it really confused a lot of our theories going forward. So Azima was a judicial officer at the Bureau of the Administrator. Dreamed of training under Vana to become an Azem, but did not become one. Interesting answer, I'll take it. Naldal was an actual merchant. Nafika was a landscape architect. Althic observed newly made creations in Elpis. And actually did know time magics. Seals. The lesson of the story is, do not meet Vana on the side of the road, or you will get saddled with either godhood or government power, possibly both. Alone was a formidable warrior tasked with hunting creations that were deemed detrimental to the star. Leading candidate for the seat of Pashtarat. This is kind of interesting. I like this. Okay, so the Asians are not necessarily 1-1 with the convocation. They became something else over time. So the Asians went one direction, and then these were people who were second-level candidates for some of the seats that became the Shadow Convocation. Do you think when they wrote this, they figured out where Pashtarat is? Like, do we know? I shouldn't go into ASEAN math right now. Menfina was a student with the words of La Habrea. Thaliak was headmaster of Academia Nider. Nemea was an observer in Elpis, like Althic, her brother. Tis said that she began the custom of offering flowers to the departed. Ah, Nemea Lily lore. Limlane was a researcher at Metabasius Thalassae. Observation and evaluation of sea life. So passionate was she about her work, she once threw a knife at someone who inadvertently came too close to her observations. Subject. So we invented behemoths and funerals. Time travel is wild. If you're dealing with a bootstrap paradox, if you're dealing with a bootstrap paradox, it's resolved it's resolved by the predestination of the loop. So from a 4D perspective, it makes sense. From a 3D perspective, not so much. I actually prefer it to branching timelines by quite a lot. That was one of the running jokes of Endwalker, was that I was so salty that after Alexander was so good and played the rules so well, that we started a completely different rule of time travel. And it really messed with my brain, and everyone was like, no, it's fine, it's good, we like this. And like, because that made more sense to people. I think the 4D perspective is harder for people. And then Endwalker came along and was like, nope, we're locking it all inside of one larger bootstrap paradox. And I was like, and everyone else was like, I hate it. So that's, I think, one of my favorite running jokes of Endwalker is that I'm the only person who likes the change in time travel back to how it was. I know I'm not the only person, but Ocean was a traveler that Bana encountered in the wilderness. Now he's just Derek. Watcher, Chief Archivist at Anamnesis Anider. A dear friend. Yeah, people who chose Ocean as their patron, they haven't been fed a lot in this game, but they're eating good today. As someone who considered changing their god and did not, and is happy about it, I don't know. I think there's something very sentimental about making your own meaning of things and not jumping ship. But if you've made meaning of things in a different way and it would suit better, I don't think there's anything wrong with changing. Just make sure it's for the right reasons. It's not because it's cool and trendy today, but because you've actually truly changed how you would assess that situation. I'm the kind of person who, once I've made a decision, I will try to find a way to make it work. I will make new meaning of it in my own way. But sometimes you really do just realize that you have made a new meaning of something, and the meaning you used to make of it doesn't matter as much. I'll give you an example. I decided during the lead up to 1.0's release that I was going to be a Gridanian. And because I loved the combination of the forest, the really intricate woodwork, and the stained glass. I loved those three things together. And I thought I was gonna love Gridania so much. And I joined the beta and I played everything that was in Limsa Limensa, and I was like, this is really cool, but I can't wait to go to Gridania. And I got to Gridania and I didn't understand anything about the pre-Buddhism Japanese worldview, obviously. So all I saw was like religious elves being mean to me, and I was like, I was from Sandoria in 11, and I have had enough of that. Arr, screw all y'all, I'm going home. And I have never regretted that. So sometimes you can change things if you realize that you have made a different meaning, and it's not a cop-out. I loved being from Sandoria, though. Sandy pride, to this day. I already did that. I've already been there. Listen, Derek, if you're going to stick around, you should really just go say hi to the Tonberries. They've had a really rough time. I think it'd be really cool if they had Derek just kind of randomly appear throughout the world in places like Retainers and the ghost of our friend from Palace of the Dead. I haven't seen her in a really long time. I wonder if she still pops up in Gridania at random. Yeah, Alpha and Omega too. Which reminds me, I have one more in that quest line I didn't do yet. Oh, the edit ghost stops once you finish Palace of the Dead? It had like a no % chance of ever happening if you were there. So I imagine most people are never even going to know that that exists. Am I going the right? Yeah, I'm going the right way. Hold on. What is this? Wait, what? What is that? Why is that there? We're gonna go back. Oh, that might be a fairy glam thing. Quality of life. When I go to places, I try to open the map and see if there's any quest unfinished in town. And I haven't seen that one before, so it must be new. And then yeah, that stuff, I'm still a little behind. All right, we'll come back. We'll come back. We'll check that out later. Tempest Key, where's the nearest? I actually leveled Dancer to 80. I thought it was going to be my I thought it was going to be my main ranged. I had fond memories of it from 11. And for some reason, I can't get a glamour or a backstory that fits with Moose's aesthetic together at all. I'm really struggling to the point that I'm actually leveling Machinist to 80 before I make a final decision, because I might go back to Machinist being Moose's range, because at least I have like a lot of story there for him. I got a lot of vibe with Moose there. I can make some clams there. I'm really struggling with a Dancer glam for Moose, really, really bad, and especially one that vibes like a history. If you look at Moose's glams, they all have history baked into them. So I've got, if you think about Scholar is like a, it's just Minson Arcanima with some ancient Nimian stuff baked into it. So I picked a Lominson military jacket, the classic Bleod, and kept the Nimian mortar board, and then just found gloves and boots that worked well with those things. So every glam I have, I actually try really hard to integrate it into both Moose's journey. I try to make the glam reflect how he came by that outfit, and I try to make it reflect the thing that it is. And it's really hard to think about, like, okay, what does Dancer mean to Moose? What gear looks good on Moose as Dancer? What looks like an outfit he would have picked up on the way to becoming a Dancer? That's also why this glam hasn't changed much since 2014. Like, I've swapped around which mortarboard, which boots, but it's been pretty consistent. I might reevaluate the Bleods, but black, silver, and purple are Moose's jam, so it's gonna be hard to beat this glam. But I really just can't get one for Dancer. I'm really struggling with it. Like, both the story of where he picked it up, when he picked it up, how he picked it up, and what it really is. Moose's Dancer lore. It was a requirement that you have a certain amount of credits in phys ed electives, and Dancer just seemed like the easiest course. That's how I ended up accidentally taking Astrophysics 101. I thought it was going to be an easy math credit for my thing. It was not an easy math credit at all, because it wasn't called astrophysics in the manual. It was just called astronomy. Big mistake. Difficult semester. I thought I was going to be learning about constellations and stuff, and they're like, here's where this dot was in space in 1994, here's where the dot was in 1996, how much does that star weigh? I'm not exaggerating, that was a real problem. The one saving grace was that all the formulae involved had nothing to do with any other math classes. As long as you remember G. That's a good one. That is correct. Yes. The good thing about it was that I didn't have to bring in anything from other math courses. As long as I studied that one course, as difficult as it was, and the teacher did not do us any favors making it any easier. She wrote the textbook and made it very difficult. She aimed for the average grade on a test to be a 62, and then curved it from there because that was the most statistically relevant for her. It was a very rough semester, but at least all the formulae were taught in the class. In the wake of the calamity, my brethren and I were all occupied with our respective duties. Interesting. Follow Derek's lead and try not to fall far behind. Okay. This guy is like so humble and free with his praise. This dude lived in the time of Elpis, and he's like, yes, this is a fine bridge. I'm glad we have some shared trauma from college class selection. Oh, wait, a moderate pass. Tis a fine bridge. Oh my god, he actually said it. Tis a fine bridge. Do I really get to answer those questions? See, this is how I prefer the crazy cosmic shit to be. Like, it's a very down-to-earth adventurer moment, but also we're literally sitting on a bench talking to a god. Okay, so no what will you say options. We get to fill in that gap with whatever we want. Former god. Right. Just Derek. I should have pulled out an Oppo minion at the beginning. This line makes it sound like they might be planning on having him show up at the... Like, maybe they will have him show up at places that have names of the 12. Go wherever the wind blows. Rockel's still salty about the error with the symbols, huh? After they twisted the knife with the lore book. Rocco, we never solved the biggest mystery of this patch cycle, which is when they released the name Amphalos, we found out that in the chat room in one of our servers, you had just randomly said the word Amphalos for no reason, like 3 months before this was announced. And we have no idea why he said it. There's no context at all. There's no conversation happening around it at all. And we were looking at the logs of the chat, and for no reason at all, randomly, Rocco just goes, Amphalos. And then 3 months later, this comes out. Maybe they did hire Rocco to do a book. Maybe that was just like an accidental NDA break. I'll cover for you. Square Enix legal, one fear. Maybe that would be a stream we can do when the lore book comes out. We can go over it and see what's in it. That's a really good shot. I really love this tradition of putting the logo in the quests somewhere. They should go back and add that to the old ones. By completing the quest Soaring Prophets, the paintings of certain deities among the 12 will become available for purchase. Certain deities? Not all the deities? I'm almost caught up on Tataru. Almost. I got most of it done, and then I got distracted by starting Hildebrand. Wait, did it just end here? I don't actually have to go talk to the forum? If I teleport to the forum, will they be like, oh yeah, thanks for your report on the gods? I'm going to assume what happened is that our Dawn Trail deadlines are starting to get a little crunchy, and that someone didn't have time to make 12 paintings for one patch. So they got halfway done, and we're like, all right, we'll do the other half in the next patch. I'm going to bet that's what happened. So is there anything we need to... Is there anything we need to run around and do? Is there anything that changed that we should see? I love that as a Lominson it ended here. I think this patch gave a little something to most of the people who picked a patron. I think everybody got a little something. Whether it was new lore, cool connections to the past, little nods in the storyline. But in terms of a Lominson who has Naldal as a patron, I think I did really well in this one. Limland looks fantastic. Got to hang out with Ocean. Naldal is still one of the coolest gods. And they kind of brought back some of the old school Thaumaturge vibe with him. I really miss old school Thaumaturge. The Thalos and Pericos shoutouts. See, what does 12-fold blessings look like? Also, yes, this is why I put the XIV collect in the Discord, because once I got into grad school, I stopped doing everything live on patch day, and a lot of stuff has fallen through the cracks because instead of actually doing the quest on Moose, I just read it. I went to YouTube or Garland, and I just read it. So I didn't fall behind on the lore, and I knew what was going on. I still read it in every language, but I didn't actually do it. And that's... We can actually bully me to actually do some of the things. Please fix yourself, portrait. Unable to retrieve Clamor played data. You must be in a sanctuary. Yeah, sure. Right over there. But I'm not going anywhere for 15 minutes. Agreed. I think they stuck the landing on a lot for this, which is good because a lot of the launch was rough. Takeoff had some turbulence. There was some retcons, there was some confusion, there was some like stuff that I definitely would have brought up if I was around for the 1.0 stuff. but they did a really good job using what they added. They made great use of what they added. So I going by what I've seen on Twitter, this chat, and a couple other websites, I think this one might be like a more divisive than we think, but over time, I'm curious to see what it becomes. There we go. My portrait was broken. 12-fold blessings. Oh, wait. It's... okay, so we got the tree. Actually, can we do like a preset? Any frame for it? Yes, there's a frame for it. Cool, cool. Is there an accent for it? Doesn't look like there's... oh wait, we got symbols of all the 12. Hey Fox! Yeah, it was a good time. It was actually a little easier than I expected it to be, but the final ones usually are. It's usually the first or second ones that are the most difficult. Wonder if I would add the symbol. Can you move it? Can you move the accent? And then I assume there's a frame, right? Oh wow, there's a... everyone gets their own? Actually, we can just... that's cool. That's really cool. Kinda tempted to throw Lim Lane in there. So I'm a very less is more kind of person, so I'm gonna stick with the very bland one for now. And then I'm going to come back later when I go through some ideas. It is very loud here. I'm going to run in here for a moment. Can I just say that I love that this is a thing we do now? Who's playing today? If you have never seen or played it, bands standing around playing music like that was a big thing in Lord of the Rings Online. And I played that for a very short period with a coworker, and I loved that. I thought that was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen in an MMO. So the fact that we always have musicians standing around playing music in Liminza makes me really happy. Okay, is there anything else I need to do aside from check Steam and see what y'all have just doomed me to? Pretty sure we're done. Okay. Let's see. What has Sarah done now? I do have an alert this time. Planet of Lana. I actually do not know this game. Developed by Wishfully, published by Thunderful. I know those names. How are we gonna do this one? Is this gonna have to be like an on-stream adventure, or am I streaming it to Twitch, or am I streaming it in the server for people? Is it like specific people, or is it like the full online journey? My choice. I'm not gonna choose yet. I'm actually gonna look into it a little more, just because I haven't ever heard of it before. But thank you for this opportunity. I just gotta stream it. It doesn't matter if it's to like the server or in the wilds. Let's see. Hold on. Open new Firefox window. How long to beat? Planet of Lava. 4.5 hours. We can do that. We'll stream it here. We'll stream it in public. We'll do it here. Which, the way I play games, that's bound to be at least like it's bound to be at least 6 hours. We'll see if we can do it. We'll see if we can do it in one sit down, but yeah, we'll totally do a public version. Let's see, hold on. What do the game mechanics look like? Is it one of the ones where I'm going to annoy everyone by like slowing down and staring at things for too long? It actually looks like it would be improved by me slowing down and looking at things. I got very hesitant about doing public streams of the visual novels, and especially some of the games where I really take my time, especially Metroidvanias. I have a really hard time with streaming. Like, I don't know if anybody would put up with the amount of times I check the map and recheck rooms and double check if anything's changed, because it'll be like, oh, 30-second cutscene that has nothing to do with anything. Time to recheck every single room and see if everything changed, or if anything changed, because I'm afraid of missing out on stuff. I think one of the worst feelings in the world is when you're trying to be thorough and explore things and you accidentally trigger a point of no return cutscene that removes you from the area. It's like, why the hell did you reward me for exploring if you're gonna do that? But I think we can pull that off. We just gotta time it. We'll find a nice relaxing Saturday, and we'll come on at our usual time, and we'll play it with everyone. Thank you very much. I have actually played Myst. I have beaten Myst, so if we did that one on the stream, I would already know the answers. Didn't they remake it not long ago? Am I making that up? Am I just, like, lying again? On new window. Myst. So the latest release was Myst 2020. Which version was that? Yeah, this looks nothing like the version I played. If you were really into Myst, do you remember the parody version that they put out? Pissed? I remember Pissed was always on the wall at EB when I went there. I tried to get a family member to buy me Pissed when I was a child, and they wouldn't buy it. And yet the same visit that they refused to buy me Pissed, we got House of the Dead. So they wouldn't buy me a game that looked like it said pissed, but they did buy me a game that was like brutally murdering zombies. I think it's really funny that they bought me House of the Dead and Muppet Treasure Island on the same day for the same child. To give you an idea how long I've been this weird. Heard of Pissed, but never seen evidence of its existence. I have never played it. I've only seen the box. That's it. I have only seen the box. So Myst came out in 93. Pissed came out in 96. Okay. I think we did it. I think we did it. That was actually it was good. I liked the end. I'll take it. I was really nervous when they said we were diving into the 12. Because again, that's deep 1.0 lore. And if you read if you're someone who reads old interviews, Kenichi Iwao, one of the original lore builders for 14, said that the 12 were going to play a huge role in the game and we'd learn about them soon. And then they didn't. None of that happened. They didn't play a huge role at all, and we picked them as our patron and then never heard about them until this. And that was simultaneously like cool and not, because they were present in a mythological sort of way and we got to like think about them, but at the same time we knew they were supposed to be something and then they weren't, so it was kind of like a double-edged sword. I like that this particular exploration of it didn't take away too much from what it means to have faith in them. So we weren't wrong in having faith in them before. They were actually affected by our faith, and now they actually want us to still kind of have faith in the ideas. They were around as something we didn't understand, doing something we didn't understand, and now they're gone and not doing something we didn't understand. So has anything really changed from our perspective? I'll take it. I'll take it. In terms of exploring the 12, I'll take it. But man, are we running out of 1.0 mysteries. Limlane should have given us the echo. That was gonna be Siren, remember? Good old Siren. My theory for who gave us the echo. Yeah, that was mine. That was frickin' Thal on the forums. What if there's a mother crystal? Why would there be a mother crystal? Frickin' Thal. This is why he has an NPC shoutout in the game and I don't. Where is his shoutout? Hold on. We'll do one more fun lore fact before we sign off for the night. I don't know if the default Rogadine name ever actually made it into the game. Have you ever seen Anonymoose shake out of the Rogadine name? I think it made it into a forum joke, but I've never seen it shake out of the character creator. Let's see, where are you? Not here. Thal would know. I thought it was down here, maybe. Oh. Wait. This is it. Okay. So, there's a guy named Catapult, who, like Rockle and I, is one of the oldest lore people that was around in the days when there was... Like, lore was how we coped with a bad game. That's really what it was. Is there, like, 1.0 was a wreck in terms of, like, the mechanics. And we believed that this would be fixed at some point, so we just dove into the story and the world thinking, well, that has potential, that's not broken. And then we'll know a lot about the world, and it'll be really fun, and we can actually make our own fun, and we'll make lore a thing. Lore can be a thing. And so we had like a very small community of people who would camp the bug report forum, trying to find anything and anything we could report to Koji. Because Koji would come and give us little tidbits of lore if we found errors in the game. So of course we tried to find as many of them as we could, hoping he would tell us anything. Me especially, I would find any excuse to go there. Like, I would be like, hey, you use this word in the game, but you've never defined it. What gives? But yeah, it was not hard to find bugs in 1.0. Not at all. Especially in terms of things that they had. They would add stuff into the game as if we had heard of it before, because they had heard of it before and it was supposed to have been something that was implemented, and we'd be like, what the hell is this? What are you talking about? You're referring to something, so like Soulkin Eluder. What the hell is a Soulkin? How are we supposed to know what that does? So Catapult was around in those days, and he went by a few names. Catapult, Bloody Catapult, and Thal Icebound. And he's still Thal Icebound. And if you go down to this tree in Limsa Limensa, and you walk up to this pirate... Don't tell me you've not heard of Thal Icebound! So he's actually... He got a true shout-out in the game. And every time I think about that, I remember the fact that he was like, what if there's a mother crystal? And I was like, why would there be? Okay. We'll make it a short stream for today. Short, at 3 hours. We'll let everybody go. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. I really enjoy having, like, people ask questions as I go, because it helps keep me sharp about the lore. And I like sharing kind of the journey that we've been on in terms of what we thought the lore was before it became this. So it's always a lot more fun to do with company, and I appreciate that of all the things you could do today, you chose to be that company and hang out with us. So, one more thing down. And now all we've got is our build up to Dawn Trail. And in that one I'm not gonna make any predictions. I'm not gonna get too invested. I'm just gonna go for the ride. But I will try to do my best to remember everything that's happening and answer questions. And if it comes to like Q&A stuff, feel free to pop into the Discord server. Just ask questions at random. I am never annoyed by being pinged on Discord. But other than that, yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for the party. Thanks for the new game to stream. We will find a time to do that, and we're gonna do that one fully live. So we'll have to make a YouTube setup for it. And yes, Rockwell, speaking of YouTube, I will go make a thumbnail right now. I promise. Alright, thanks for the company, everybody. As always, Crystal Mom and I love you. And we will see you at the next.